I encourage people to go with truth. But in the FLDS group, one of the things that people are bringing up is look at the horrific things that are happening to those children, and look at the polygamy issue and the and then what the government is doing. Well, they were justified. Well, they weren't justified. There's one of the things that you're going to have to consider is what is the purpose of government. That's something I say over and over and over again. And those in power, those who are having to exercise their authority by the use of the power that they have, are there to protect the least of these, the weakest member of our society, from the insults and injury of the stronger member of our society. If men were angels, I think Benjamin Franklin said that, and he was kind of quoting off of John Locke. Because men are corrupt, vicious, and degenerate, we need government. And so because there are people that are corrupt, vicious, and degenerate, we need government. The only problem is you got to be very careful about knowing it to actually be true before you take families and just tear the living daylights out of it. With the FLDS guys, I heard them say on the TV that, oh, it's our religion. They're opposed to our religion. Well, if your religion requires you to take unlawful, unrightful advantage of a weak member of your society and chalk it up to gratifying your duty to Almighty God, it just turns out that Mike mentioned something. He mentioned the Bible in 1 Peter chapter 2. It talked about the role of government. In Romans chapter 13, it talks about the role of government as being ministers of Almighty God. So when they say a law that says, thou shalt not engage in this marital relationship prior to somebody being 16 years old, that is one of those things where it very well may be an instrument of Almighty God ministering through the government for those who are evil men and do not understand justice, to let them know, oh, by the way, this cannot be a duty of religion. You may, having somebody below this age that you are taking advantage of, very well, that's where there's a compelling interest of government to protect both religion and also protect the life, body, and interest of that weaker member of our society. So when the government says we have a compelling interest, that's the only time it's really, really legitimate. When that mutual interest of that person's very life is at stake, then the government has a compelling interest that cannot be fixed by any lesser means than to protect them physically from being assaulted. So those are the kind of things that in society, people don't understand this. Courts don't understand this. Community service boards don't necessarily understand this. What's your view? If your view is not based on truth, it may be influenced by a different religious view, and every view is religious, and it may influence you to do something that is actually contrary to religion.